Test 1, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Ziemba. Number 2, Jeremy Lackman. Number 4, Matt Sabatella. Number 11, John Picarillo. And number 21, Michael Dillon. Head coach, Fort Lee's legendary, John Ziemba. And now the starting lineup for the home team, the Braves. Number 5, Ashton Kent. Number 15, Dylan Bernacki. Number 21, Anthony Francina. Number 23, Michael Casso. And number 25, Connor Matthews. Head coach, Nicholas DiCarlo. Let's play ball.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome here to East Gymnasium at Fort Lee. The setting for the 2024 Last Chance Showcase, as this is the final day before the Bergen County Jamboree and Bergen County Invitational Tournaments are seeded. So this is the last chance for teams to improve their resume and possibly get into the tournament fields. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by Dimitri Nandis and Renee Manisic. Settle in for a long day of basketball here on this cold Sunday in January. First game of the day, it's going to be the Emerson Cavos taking on the Indian Hills Braves. Emerson 4-10 on the season, Indian Hills 5-7. These two sides met a season ago on February 13th in Emerson, and Indian Hills came away with a 57-45 road victory. Emerson is coached by John Ziemba, the legendary head man here for a long time at Fort Lee High School. Also, no stranger on our broadcast as the head girls volleyball coach. And the head coach of Indian Hills is Nicholas DiCarlo. So we are underway. The home side will be Indian Hills here today. They are in their navy blue and gold, while Emerson defending in their white and red. Anthony Francina trying to get it across the court. On top of the key, dropped down low, stuffed at the rim that time was Dylan Bernacki. And Emerson will head down the other way. Emerson played in this event that started a season ago. They lost here in the first game against Westwood last year. Here's Jason Ziemba, coach's son, looking for an outlet, gets it inside. Mid-range jumper, that time a little too strong. And a rebound underneath, and then a subsequent foul against Emerson after Michael Dillon's shot was off the mark. First foul of the game against John Picarillo. Picarillo's first, team's first, to begin this first quarter. Indian Hills trying to snap a 5-game losing skid on the season as they come into play today. They did so recently and snapped that 5-game losing streak with an 83-71 win their last time out against Midland Park yesterday. So they're trying to build on that first win in a while. Worked around the perimeter. Chased off the line. Emerson's last game came on January 17th. They lost on the road at Park Ridge, 53-46. Dillon trying to muscle his way inside. Missed on the first attempt, trying to follow his own miss with a putback, no good. And a rebound, and it's going to be a reach-in foul against Dillon. So that's the second foul of this first quarter against Emerson. Both fouls aggressively trying to win back possession underneath the rim. Dillon's first. Indian Hills, a team that averages just under 54 points per game this season. Trying to work it around. Here's an open 3-ball. No good that time. That shot off the mark by Connor Matthews. Here come the Cavos in the break. Ziemba finding Dillon. He'll hand it off to Jeremy Lockman. Lockman had 9 points against Indian Hills in a losing effort last season. Flashing at the foul line is Matt Sabatella. Patient offensive set here for Emerson. Tic-tac-toe passing underneath leads to the layup inside for Matt Sabatella. Sabatella gets the first 2 points of the game. And Emerson leads 2-0. Sabatella had a big game last year against Indian Hills. He had a double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds, also dished out 5 assists. He had work around the perimeter as that time Emerson went gambling, and that will cost them as eventually Michael Casso will get the benefits of the lane parting ways and gets the layup. Casso with his first 2 points. He had a 14-point performance recently against Riverdale on January 13th. Here's Sabatella. Feeding it down low, inside Picarillo. Kick out, here's a 3-ball for Emerson, no good by Lockman. Rebound secured by Indian Hills as the Braves break it out the other way. Pull up mid-range floater, no good. Tipped around inside. Possession saved by Bernacki. Here's a straightaway look from 3, no good by Matthews. It's a cold shooting start for both teams. Only one made field goal apiece. Sabatella will get it back up top as Emerson will operate on offense. 4.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Ziemba's pass is deflected away and stolen into the hands of Casso. Spinning and banking it in is Connor Matthews, the junior with his first 2 points of the morning. Indian Hills has scored 4 unanswered to take a 4-2 lead, as we're already closing in on the midway point to the first quarter. And that will be a travel as it's stuck to the side of Jeremy Lockman as he tried to break through that double team that was coming right to him. Wholesale changes being made by Coach Ziemba and Emerson, as who have 3 new players onto the floor for the Cavos. Coming up on 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 4-2 lead for Indian Hills. Cutting through the defense again and making his way inside was Connor Matthews. And Coach Ziemba has seen enough. He'll call for a timeout. A 6-0 run by Indian Hills has given them their largest lead of the morning with 3:53 left to go in the first quarter. It's Indian Hills 6, Emerson 2 as you're watching game number 1 of this 5-game extravaganza here at the Last Chance Showcase. As you saw there, we'd like to thank all of our proud sponsors of this Last Chance Showcase, as well as our normal broadcast sponsors of all Fort Lee athletic events here in the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Proud to be your broadcast home here for the Last Chance Showcase. Again, while a spot in the Bergen County Jamboree may not be on the line for these two teams, a spot in the Bergen Invitational Tournament might be of note for one or even both of these teams. Emerson looking for what would be their 5th win of the season. Indian Hills trying to go back-to-back wins and back-to-back days and get to 6-7 on the year. Feeding it down low, Sabatella. Turning it around, getting to Michael Graff, who's come into the game. Graff got fouled on his way through the middle of the lane. And that'll send Graff, the 5'8 junior guard, to the foul line to shoot a pair with 3:25 left here in a low-scoring first quarter. Graff will miss on the first foul shot attempt. He recently had 2 points in their last game against Park Ridge. Emerson plays out of the NJIC Patriot Division, where they're 4th in the 5-team field, as Graff goes 1 of 2 at the line. That pass is intercepted by John Kennedy. Kennedy feeding inside, high layup, no good by Smith. Fop attempt inside by Sabatella. Couple players intertwined, and it just clean play, hard contest, and no foul in the play. Couple of great opportunities for Emerson to potentially pull to within 1, but they missed on a couple of layups. Matthews, reverse lay-in is good. Connor Matthews, 6 points here in the first quarter. He's got 6 of Indian Hill's 8 points, under 3 minutes left to go in the first. 5-point advantage for the Braves. Sabatella, good extra pass, finding his teammate Kennedy underneath for the 2. Full court pressure. Maneuvering that pressure was Ashton Kant. And Kant gets fouled that time. That foul will go against Matt Sabatella's. Sabatella's first, team's third. Ashton Kantz had 9 points recently against Riverdale. Again, Indian Hills coming in off of the win against Midland Park yesterday, another NJIC team. Worked around, here's a 3, that time left short by Matthews. Quick outlet down the floor, the Cavos beating Indian Hills down the floor, and Jeremy Lockman gets the 2 in transition. Lockman's first 2 points. Indian Hills sidestepping the defense, Dylan Bernacki getting his first 2 points of the morning. Back and forth we go as now the offense starting to pick up between both teams. Jadis Smith off balance, missing on the left-hand layup attempt. Trying to fight for the loose ball rebound, tries to go up with it, but cleanly blocked away. Franchini got a piece of it. So after a slow, methodical start to this game, things have opened up a bit after Emerson went to the full court pressure. Here's a corner 3 ball for Kant, no good. Rebound taken in by Lockman. Lockman giving it off to Smith, and Smith lays it in, does a good job of maneuvering his body in the open floor. Get the better angle for that layup attempt. And Emerson back to within 1 at 10-9. Under 90 seconds left to go in the quarter. Matthews missed on the lay-in, try to tap it out to his teammate. As Kennedy will come out of the pack with it, and now Emerson will set up shop in the half-court offense. Raff getting it back up top to Lockman. Here's Smith. Maneuvers his way through. Staying with him all the time was Matthews to make the block. And now a frustration foul setting in for Emerson and Jadis Smith. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Cavos, meaning that they have no more fouls to give, or to result in 2 shots for Indian Hills. Evenly played matchup so far here in the first. 10-9 lead for Indian Hills, led by as many as 5 in this first quarter. Kant hands it off to Franchini. Kant feeding down low. The cutter, and just rolled off the lip of the rim. Bernacki was trying to look for a potential 3-point play opportunity. Dylan Bernacki, the junior, will head to the line to shoot 2 with 31.4 seconds left to go. Ziemba got called for the foul, his first, team's 5th. As Bernacki will knock down the first foul shot, giving him 3 points here in the first quarter. Last year in that game that Indian Hills won at Emerson, they led after the first quarter against the Cavos 28-2, and then never looked back. As Bernacki knocks down a pair of foul shots, he's got 4. 12-9 lead now for Indian Hills. Kick ball, knocked out of bounds, last touch off of Indian Hills. So it's going to be an inbound with 23.2 on the clock here in the first quarter. Graff will do the inbounding. Lockman getting it over to Ziemba. Emerson holding for the final shot of the quarter. Ziemba still holding on to it. 6 seconds left to go. Graff with it, running out of time. 2.2 on the clock as that pass was deflected out of bounds off of Indian Hills last. So 2.2 remaining here for Emerson to get a shot off before the end of this quarter. Ziemba curls around, off balance shot, no good. And Indian Hills will take a 12-9 advantage into the start of the second quarter. Stick around as we're going to be heading to that second quarter momentarily as you're watching the exclusive broadcast coverage of the Last Chance Showcase here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, Renee Matisic. Thanks for joining us here on our broadcast coverage of game number 1 of a 5-game event. You're part of the Last Chance Showcase, hosted here at Fort Lee High School for the second consecutive season. This is our first matchup of the day. Emerson in the white, Indian Hills in the blue. Indian Hills with a 3-point lead as we get underway to the start of the second quarter. Sabatella trying to mark down his man, but he's going to get called for the offensive foul. Bernacki did not give up his ground. Sabatella had to use the free hand to create a little separation, and for Sabatella, that is his second personal foul of the half. So one of the leaders for this Emerson team in foul trouble, as we're less than 30 seconds gone by in the second quarter. Working it around, Bernacki off balance, gets the floater to fall. Dylan Bernacki with 6 points here in the first half. He's tied his teammate Connor Matthews for the team lead. That's a 14-9 advantage now for Indian Hills. Good anticipation by Bernacki, knocking it out of bounds. Possession will stay with Emerson. Picarillo coming off a 6-point performance and loss against Park Ridge back on the 17th. Maneuvering inside was Lockman. Lockman is blocked out of bounds. Emerson has not had the shots falling. That one will this time around. Michael Dillon, the senior forward, gets that floater across the lane. Gets the Cavals back within 3 at 14-11. Swung around the perimeter. Good ball movement there. Leads to the open 3. Michael Casso knocks down the first triple of the game for either team. That was beautiful ball movement. Never hit the floor once for Indian Hills. Dumped down low to Ziemba. Didn't have the angle there as the defender flashed over to him. Hard-nosed move inside once again by Sabatella, and this time does not pick up the offensive foul. Instead draws the personal foul inside against Indian Hills. Bernacki picking up the foul, his first, team's first of the second quarter. As Sabatella will roll in the foul shot to give him 3 points in the half. Sabatella 2 for 2 at the line, 4 points for him. Emerson backs within 4. Open 3 ball again in the near side corner. No good this time for Kant. Lockman, no one stopping the ball as he'll just shift gears right through the middle of the lane for the left-hand layup. Lockman now up to 4 points. This full court pressure has done wonders for Emerson, but that time no one stopped the ball on the other side as Michael Casso building up a nice offensive groove here. He scored the last 5 unanswered points for Indian Hills. He's got a game-high 7. Ziemba trying to drop it down low, but good diving attempt there by Kant on the hustle play, but he was touching the baseline as he tried to dive for that possession. 19-15 lead for Indian Hills. 5:37 left to go here in the second. Ziemba will try his luck from 3, left it short. Rebounded inside by Picarillo. No good. Follows his own miss again. Hard-nosed play underneath, trying to bank it in. And a foul's going to be called, it looks like against Connor Matthews inside against Indian Hills. Emerson has done an exceptional job in his first half on the offensive boards, creating second and third opportunities on a lot of possessions. They just have not been good at converting inside. As that first foul shot is knocked in. And the second foul shot rattles in and out. Might have been a lane violation upcoming against Sabatella anyway. 19-16 the lead. Indian Hills off the mark that time for Franchini. Coming around the lane, drop down low. Sabatella, the beneficiary of a nice dish inside. He's up to 6 points in the game. And Emerson back to within 1, 19-18. Here's a steal. The Cavos with a chance to take the lead, and they will. Jeremy Lockman, another lay-in. He's got 6, and just like that, Emerson has taken the lead at 20-19. First time they've held the lead since it was 2-0. Indian Hills trying to stop the bleeding. Emerson has been all over the floor defensively. They have been outstanding here today. In this first half, it's been their full court pressure that got them back into the game and also led to easy and early offense. Caso's been the main offensive threat here in this quarter, but there's a 3-ball knocked in by number 25, Connor Matthews. Matthews had a big first quarter. He had 6 points. Now give him that 3. He's got a game-high 9. Gives Indian Hills back the lead. Inside, Picarillo. Bad angle, but did not bother him at all. That power dribble gave him a little more space to get that lay-in. Here's Matthews. Fastball pass down underneath. Good penetration. Bernacki got fouled, and now the question is who the foul is going to be charged against. If it's Sabatella, then it's going to be his 3rd. Instead, it looks like Lockman is the culprit. That will be a big foul charged against him because it's only his 1st. If it was Sabatella, that would have been his 3rd. And the foul shot no good that time by Bernacki. Bernacki coming off a 7-point, 10-rebound performance against Riverdale. Second foul shot is good, so Bernacki up to 7 points here in the first half of play, and a timeout's going to be taken on the floor. We'll take the timeout with them. Thanks so much to all of our proud sponsors of this great event leading up to tournament season here in New Jersey high school basketball. Just around the midway point of quarter number 2, Indian Hills on top of Emerson by a score of 23-22. With 3:57 left to go in the first half of play, Indian Hills led Emerson 12-9 after the first quarter of action. Indian Hills coming in off of their first win of the new year. Previous to that, their last win came on December 28th. Got caught in the midst of a gauntlet of games. Snapped the 5-game losing skid, trying to build off of that win from yesterday. And Emerson trying to bounce back after a loss their last time out. Pass was taken away. Bernacki trying to go coast to coast. He gets the lay-in and one. Dylan Bernacki had only one thing on his mind after he snatched that rebound and triggered the fast break the other way. That was to go aggressively right to the rim himself and not even think about facilitating anyone else. That was a great decision on his part. The hoop and the harm and a chance of the traditional three-point play. And he does just that. Swishes home the foul shot. He's got a game-high 10 now for Indian Hills. And the lead grows back to 4, 26-22. Sabatella up top to Lockman. Across the lane. Floater falls. And Jeremy Lockman has come alive here in the second quarter. He has scored 6 of his 8 points in this game here in this quarter. Back to a 2-point margin. Caccini handing it off. Bernacki. What an off-balance finish. 12 points for Dylan Bernacki. The junior has been so aggressive, not settling for jumpers. And now it's going to be a reach-in foul against Bernacki, and that'll be his second personal with 2:57 left to go before halftime. Both teams 3 fouls apiece in this second quarter. So each team with only one more foul to give. Kick out. Here's Smith. Across the lane. Little wild, out of control. Did not have the angle. They're going to say deflected, though, out of bounds. Last touch off of Indian Hills, so possession will stay here with the Cavos. Michael Manning has come onto the floor for the first time for Indian Hills defensively. 2:39 left to go in the second. 4-point lead for Indian Hills. They've led for the majority of this first half. Graff in trouble. And a timeout granted to Coach Ziemba as he saw Graff was very close to turning it over after he was swarmed by the double team near our broadcast vantage point. 2:31 left to go in the second quarter. Indian Hills on top by 4, 28-24 in game number 1 of this last chance showcase. Our second game of the day is going to be featuring a matchup of 2 Big North teams in the Paramus Spartans taking on the Tenafly Tigers. That's coming up in our second game of the day. And again, we'd like to thank all of our proud sponsors, certainly the usual cohorts of sponsors for our broadcasts. The law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. They are our broadcast sponsors, allowing us to bring you the sights and sounds of Fort Lee athletics throughout the season. And then special thanks to all of our sponsors of this Last Chance Showcase of the Gyro Project, Prospect Capital Restaurants, Jersey Mike Subs, Anytime Fitness, Base Camp Fitness, Noble Fitness, Shoe Cosmetics, and Icon Recovery Center. This is a fun event after, again, just getting started a season ago. Giving some teams a chance here right before the committees have to make their decisions of who's in and who's out of their respective fields in the Bergen Jamboree Tournament as well as the Bergen County Invitational. Great opportunity for Bergen County teams to lock horns with other teams from around the county that they don't necessarily meet on a normal basis. Skip pass. This is an NJIC versus Big North matchup. And a bump foul is going to be charged against Anthony Franchini. Franchini picks up the foul. That is his second. Team's fourth, so Indian Hills with no longer any more fouls to give. It's going to be foul shots the rest of the half coming for Emerson. Kennedy over to the near side wing. Lockman finding Dillon flashing across the lane. Dillon puts it down, tries to bank it in. No good. Matthews with a strong arm rebound. Matthews will bring it down the other way. He's got 9. Wide open is Kantz for 3. Airball that one, but rebounded inside. But the putback by Manning is no good. Missed opportunity for the easy 2 there. And now a whistle as looked like Jadis Smith might have rolled an ankle as he's hopping off the floor in pain and will be looked at by the training staff. Emerson with possession, down by 4. Closing into the final 90 seconds of the first half of play. Lockman off to the near side, playing a game of catch inside. Here's Dillon. Picarillo getting it back down inside to Dillon. Ball movement finds Lockman off the mark on the 3. Ziemba was out of bounds after he was contacted with possession of the basketball. So possession will go back over to Indian Hills with under 90 seconds left to go before halftime. Kantz get it off to the far side to Casso. Another offering from deep for Indian Hills, no good. Rebounded inside by Picarillo. Here's Dillon weaving his way through the lane. Left it again short at the rim. Couple of missed layups here plaguing the Cavos in the first half, but it eventually finds its way back into the hands of big number 21. And the 6'1 senior, Michael Dillon, gets his 4th point of the game. 2-point margin in favor of Indian Hills. Matthews, nice post move, eventually leads to the hook shot finish. Matthews with 11 points, second leading scorer in this game for Indian Hills. 4-point lead for the Braves. 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Lockman, extra pass, finding Picarillo. Decided not to uncork the 3. Emerson spreading the floor once again, looking like they want to hold for a final shot of the half. They trailed by 3 after 1. They currently trail by 4 with under 10 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Ziemba, long range 3. Off the back iron, no good. Picarillo has to just fall to his hands, but he runs out of time with that post move, and that'll do it for the first half of play. Indian Hills will take a 30-26 lead with them into the start of the second half. Stick around, fans, as we'll be back for the start of the third quarter of play with all of our broadcast coverage exclusively provided here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletics Department here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half. Indian Hills on top of Emerson by a score of 30-26. Indian Hills led 12-9 after one. They outscored Emerson 18-17 in that second quarter to increase their lead to a 4-point margin. Let's take a look at the stats from the first half of play. Balanced scoring effort by Emerson here so far in the first half. Jeremy Lockman with a game-high 8 points for the Cavos. Matt Sabatella right behind him with 6. And for Indian Hills, they've gotten scoring from only 3 players all game long, but that has not phased them from having a 4-point advantage. Dylan Bernacki with a game-high 12 points. Connor Matthews with 11. And then right behind him, Michael Casso with 7 points for the Braves. Emerson 4-10 on the season. Trying to bounce back after suffering a loss in league play last time out on January 17th against Park Ridge. While Indian Hills comes in off a win yesterday against Midland Park, their first win of the new year, snapping a 5-game losing skid, and now trying to put themselves in a position to have back-to-back wins and pull back to within a game of 500 on the season. Again, this is a jam-packed day of basketball, and we'll have you covered for each and every contest here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department. Game number 1, Emerson versus Indian Hills. Game number 2, waiting in the stands, Paramus and Tenafly, as part of this 2024 Bergen County Last Chance Showcase event. And the last chance for teams to make an impression on the seeding committees for both the Bergen County Jamboree and Bergen Invitational tournaments. Indian Hills, the home side, they're in their navy and gold. Emerson, the road team, in their white, red, and black. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, Renee Matisic, thanks for joining us this Sunday afternoon. Maneuvering inside, Matthews, what an acrobatic play! Defender had his hand on the ball, but he still powered up through the contact to lay it in. 13 points now for Connor Matthews. Emerson, wide open look from 3 straight away. The Cavos have yet to knock down a long ball in this game. Indian Hills hit on 2 threes in that first half. Here's Matthews trying his luck from deep, no good. Rebound secured by Lockman. Picarillo off to the near side. Worked around, down low. In tight shot by Sabatello, no good. Try to crash the offensive boards. And they'll say it's last touch off of him. With 6:53 left to go in the third quarter. Possession back over to Indian Hills. 6-point advantage for the Braves. Their largest leads of this entire contest. But an even matchup between these two teams. Kantz races after the ball. Matthews dribble drives, hook pass over to Bernacki. Bernacki's pass was a tough one. Kant trying to handle it. Sabatello with the loose ball rebound. And possession error will give the ball back over to Emerson. That's Sabatello, the 6'2 junior forward, plays a little edge to his game. He's been feisty down low in this contest. Worked around up top. Lockman off the dribble. Here's Sabatello, 3-point line extended. Driving in the baseline, kicking around to Ziemba. Thought about the 3, passed it up. Lockman got the seal off, but missed on the lay-in. Sabatello then missed on the putback. And a frustration foul sets in as Sabatello will be called for going over the back as well. That has been the concern for Coach Ziemba's side. They have missed so many different layup attempts in this game. Sabatello now up to 3 personal fouls. Bernacki across the lane. Looked over at the official, no call. Matthews again off balance, and Sabatello with a rebound. Bucket's hard to come by right now here for both teams. 5.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. And a timeout's going to be taken by Coach John Ziemba. His offense has not kicked into gear just yet to start off this second half, and quite frankly, neither offense is producing a lot of points. Only 2 points between both teams to start off this second half of play. Indian Hills still in front 32-26 in this last chance showcase. Out of the timeout, possession now for Emerson. We'll see what Coach Ziemba drew up for his team. Again, they've had their opportunities down low. They've just not been able to convert consistently. Turnaround shot inside by Dillon is off the mark. One and done with a rebound, this time by Indian Hills, keeping the Cavos off the glass. Nice give and go underneath, inside. Matthews no good with the left hand. He looks at the official, waiting for a call that never arrives. Lockman, a whirling dervish right down the middle of the lane. First 2 points of the second half for Emerson. Lockman up to 10 points. He's the leading scorer for the Cavos, and they're back to within 4, 32-28. Step back jumper from 15, no good. That time by Anthony Franchini. Ziemba, down low to Sabatella on the baseline. Ziemba, corner 3, no good, tipped around. Deflected out of bounds, last touch off of Indian Hills, so possession will stay on this end of the floor with Emerson. Feed inside, and there's Jeremy Lockman. Lockman's got all 4 second half points for Emerson. He's up to a game-high 12 for the Cavos, and Emerson has found a way to get back to within 2, but that'll change with an and 1. Michael Casso aggressively took it right to the rim, the hoop and the harm, and the chance of the traditional 3-point play. Casso up to 9 points here this afternoon. Foul shot, though, was no good. He'll settle for the 2. He's got 9. 34-30. Dump down low. Give and go. Layup, though, left short by Picarillo. Here's a breakout the other way. Casso with no floor balance for Emerson. Indian Hills takes full credit for that one. They pushed the pace, got down the floor in time. Lead back up to 6 for the Braves, 36-30. And a traveling call against Emerson. Will turn it over and give possession right back over to Indian Hills. Again, only 3 players have scored here today for Indian Hills. Bernacki with 12, Casso with 11, and Matthews with 13. Talk about balanced scoring. Casso pulls up from 17 and cans the jumper. He's gone on a run here. He's got 6 of his 13 in this third quarter alone for number 23. Largest lead of the game now for Indian Hills is 8, 38-30. Across the lane, Lockman is doing his best to keep Emerson within striking distance. He's got 14 now. Kant pulls up from deep. No good on the 3. Graff with a rebound. Under 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Dumped down low to Dillon. Dillon had that shot deflected by Bernacki. Dillon recovers and scores inside. Michael Dillon with a chance now at a traditional 3-point play, and after it was a 8-point lead for Indian Hills, that lead has been cut in half to 4 with a chance for Emerson to pull to within 3 with 2:52 left to go in the third quarter. Third personal foul against Anthony Franchini. That was only the first team foul of the second half against Indian Hills. Dillon misfiring on the foul shot. 4-point game, deflected out of bounds. Last touch off of Dillon, and Emerson Possession will stay here with Indian Hills. But a good back and forth game between these two evenly matched combatants. Emerson lost a heartbreaker against Westwood in this last chance event last year, 38-37. That is blocked out of bounds. Good interior defense by Dillon. As Bernacki was making his cut to the rim, looking for his first points of the second half. Kant flipping it back up. Casso, hesitation dribble, spin move inside. That's a beauty, and he rolls it in. Lockman was wondering why it wasn't an offensive foul against Casso. Casso now up to a game-high 15 points for Indian Hills. Lockman thought about the three, pass it up instead. Pinballed inside and a fortuitous bounce into the hands of Picarillo. 4-point lead again. Bernacki open for three. Missing. Rebounded by Lockman. Lockman, fastball down the other way. Bernacki did a good job of getting his hand in the passing lane to deflect that out of bounds. Prevent would have been an easy layup attempt for Emerson. Under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter, 40-36. The Braves in front. They've led for the majority of this game. Dillon, the beneficiary of an inbound pass. Michael Dillon with 4 points in the quarter, 8 points in the game. Back to a 2-point game. Matthews, nice crossover, tied up and fouled, and now it's going to be seeing if it was deemed to be in the act of shooting as well. Matthews did a great job of crossing over, and it is a 2-shot foul. Coach Ziemba is not a happy camper on the far side of the gym, voicing his displeasure at that call. That one against John Kennedy, his first, team's third. And Matthews will swish home that first foul shot attempt of the game. 14 points for Connor Matthews, had 13.6 rebounds recently against Riverdale. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. He's got 15 to tie up his teammate Michael Casso. And Indian Hills once again stretches their advantage back to 4. 42-38, 1:43 left to go here in the third quarter from East Gymnasium at Fort Lee. Michael Casso of Indian Hills with 8 points in this third quarter alone. Jeremy Lockman with 6 points for Emerson in the third. Both teams going back and forth. Indian Hills is led by as many as 8. Emerson led by only as many as 2 early in the game when it was 2-0. And now a foul against Indian Hills on the hold. Cons gets called for the foul, his first, team second. Approaching the final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Lockman will have to retrieve that one, but a backcourt violation will give possession back over to Indian Hills. Give and go, Kant to the rim. Ashton Kant with his first 2 points of the game. Becomes the first Brave player other than Bernacki, Casso, or Matthews to score in this game. 6-point lead for Indian Hills, 44-38, closing in the final minute of the third quarter. Dillon, hook shot, gets it to go. Michael Dillon has been strong in this third quarter. He's up to 10 points now for Emerson. And Indian Hills throws it right back away, so it's possession going back to Emerson after the turnover. 61 seconds left to go in the third. And Kant again with a foul. very far away from the rim. Last time his coaching staff was incredulous of why he was committing the foul, and again, Kant does that well away from the rim. His second personal foul of the game. Third team foul. So each team still with a foul to give before it's double bonus. Knocked out of bounds. Will still be possession for Emerson. 47.5 seconds left in the third. This was a 4-point Indian Hills lead at halftime, a 3-point lead after one. Emerson tried to deflect it off the backside of an Indian Hills player, but eventually it skittered out of bounds. Last touch by the Cavos. Now we'll see if Indian Hills will elect to try to hold for one final shot of the quarter. Here's Casso. Showed off a nice touch to his game here in this third quarter. Bernacki across the lane, got hacked, and that time Dylan Bernacki will head back to the foul line, where he's 4 for 5 in today's game. Got a step on his defender, and Michael Dillon contacted him to the head. Bernacki is short on that first foul shot opportunity. He's yet to score in this second half at 12 points in the first half for the junior. Bernacki is true on his second foul shot attempt. First point of the second half. He's got 13. 45-40 Indian Hills in front of Emerson. Lockman lost the handle as he was going right to the rim. That goes out of bounds. A lot of contact, no call. 24 seconds left to go in the third quarter. As now Indian Hills once again with a chance potentially to hold for a final shot of the quarter. Here's Casso. Watched by Kennedy. Kant getting it back up top. As the Indian Hills bench calling out how much time is left. And Cheney has to get it off in time. Got it blocked away with an air ball. And Indian Hills will increase their halftime advantage by 1 and will take a 5-point lead into the fourth quarter. 45-40 Indian Hills on top of Emerson in our first game of the day here at the 2024 Last Chance Showcase. Stick around. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter. Indian Hills outscored Emerson 15-14 in that third quarter to extend their lead now to 5 as we head into the fourth quarter of play. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by our producer Dimitri Nanis, our camera operator Renee Manisic. Thanks for joining us on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel, as we will be your exclusive broadcast home for all 5 basketball games here today as part of the Last Chance Showcase. Indian Hills trying to make it back-to-back wins on the season. Get to 6-7 on the year. Emerson trying to bounce back after a loss in their last game to get their 5th win of the season. Across the lane, Kant. Good defensive work. Front rimmed it. Franchini with the offensive rebound. That time a foul at the rim as Dillon got a piece of Bernacki. And Dillon is not happy with that call. Feeling like he got all ball, but the official who made the play saying he contacted in the head. So Dylan Bernacki back to the foul line where he's been many times before in this game. And gets that front rim to fall this time. Bernacki 6 of 8 at the line here today. 6 of 9 after missing on that second foul shot attempt. Emerson down the floor, and Dillon rolls it in. Michael Dillon with a strong second half. He's got 8 of his 12 points in the second stanza. And Emerson refuses to go away. Remains a 4-point lead for Indian Hills. That pass intercepted inside by Picarillo. Read the eyes of Casso. Ziemba up and under move, and he drew the contact on his way to the rim. So Jason Ziemba, the senior guard, who had 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a loss against Indian Hills last season, with a chance to get his first points of this afternoon. As he knocks down the first foul shot, his first point of the game. Ziemba, smooth shooter at the foul line, knocks in a pair. 46-44, Emerson down by 2. Emerson has yet to knock in a 3-point shot in this game. Indian Hills has only connected on 2 threes themselves. A lot of the damage in both teams have been done in the paint. Matthews gets called for the offensive foul. Ziemba did a great job of beating his man to the spot, drew the offensive foul against Matthews. For Matthews, that is his second personal foul, team second to begin this fourth quarter. So a 2-point game right now with 6:50 left to go in regulation. Emerson with a chance to tie or even take the lead. Here's a chance for the lead. A 3 knocked down by Ziemba. The first 3 of the game for Emerson. And the Cavos have come all the way back to take the lead, 47-46. Gaunt looking for Bernacki. Bernacki has been very good at getting that first step against his defenders. Speaking of that, here goes Matthews hard to the rim, drew the contact, and once again, Connor Matthews finds a way to get to the foul line. Matthews and Bernacki have been so good and efficient in this game of finding a way to get off the dribble, past their defender, and getting a chance to get to the foul line. Matthews is 2 for 2 at the line in this game. Broadcaster jinx in full effect after Matthews misfires in the first opportunity. He'll have another chance here to tie this game up at 47 all. But he misses on a pair. So the lead remains with Emerson. Ziemba again for 3. No good. Inside, Sabatella rushed it a little bit with the reverse layup attempt. But a foul underneath against Indian Hills will have possession stay with Emerson. Foul starting to become a concern here for Indian Hills. That's their 3rd team foul. They'll have only 1 more foul to give after that foul was charged against Matthews, his 3rd. We'll take a timeout here with 6:05 left to go in the fourth quarter. Emerson has taken the lead, 47-46 against Indian Hills. A great start to this last chance showcase day. 5 games here from East Gymnasium in Fort Lee, all here on YouTube. .605 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Inbound quickly to Lockman. Lockman missing on the layup attempt. Again, if Emerson does not win this game, they will look back and remember all the missed opportunities inside. Matthews Acrobatic again inside. Missed on the first attempt. Fouled it up with the make. 17 points now for Connor Matthews, the junior big man. Indian Hills back in the lead, 48-47. Lockman again, right to the rim. This time will not be denied. Lockman with 16 to lead the way for Emerson. And back and forth we go. 49-48. Emerson in front. Been a fun start to this showcase event. That pass right at the feet of Kant. As Bernacki threw that one away, as that'll lead to a turnover. Again, Emerson has not led by more than 2 all game long. Indian Hills led by as many as 8 at one point in the third quarter when it was 38-30. Sabatella getting it to Dillon. Good touch pass. Sabatella denied at the rim there. Matthews with a block. Casso the other way. Indian Hills had the numbers in transition, elected not to uncork the shot. Bernacki will get the benefit of a blocking foul underneath against Emerson. Lockman gets called for the blocking foul inside, and that might have been a bailout call, because even from our vantage point right here underneath this side of the rim, on this end of East Gymnasium, it looked like that might have been a charge call. Good roll off the rim that time by Bernacki. He's up to 15 points, doing a lot of his damage from the foul line in this game. 7 of 10 at the line. Misfiring on the second opportunity, though. 49-49. 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Corner 3 ball by Ziemba. Again, Emerson has knocked in only 1-3 all game long. Hook shot attempt hung precariously on the rim, but it didn't drop. Matthews in the open floor. And a whistle behind the play. It seems like a couple of players were tangled up behind the play. So it looks like stoppage going on right now. There might be a case of an unruly fan who the officials heard enough of here today, and either a fan going to be warned or going to be escorted out. Play was stopped after Connor Matthews was making his march down the floor. So the official making the warning right now to make sure that the fans remain sportsmanlike in their behavior in the stands. So it will be possession with 4:31 left to go. Possession for Indian Hills as they'll inbound it into the backcourt. Tie game. Matthews trying to establish himself on the post. A kick ball on the entry pass down low. Matthews with a feed inside. Casso off balance. Reach and foul will send Casso to the foul line to shoot a pair. 4th team foul against Emerson, as that foul will go against John Picarillo, which will be his 3rd personal in the game. First foul shot is good by Casso. 1 of 2 at the line in this game, 16-point performance for the senior. Casso is good on both opportunities. Give him 17 now. Approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter. 2-point lead for Indian Hills, but now a reach-in foul and a pushing foul officially against Indian Hills, and both teams are at 4 fouls apiece, meaning neither team has any wiggle room for the remainder of this fourth quarter. Now went against Casso, his first. Here's a steal produced by Casso, weaving his way all the way down the other side of the floor. He's got a game-high 19 now. 12 points in the second half for the senior Michael Casso. 4-point lead for Indian Hills. Dillon off the screen, missed the runner across the lane. Put back by Sabatella is good, and he got fouled in the act of shooting as well. So Matt Sabatella with a chance of the three-point play and a chance to also make this a one-point margin for his side. And a concern now for Coach DiCarlo. Connor Matthews got the foul. That is his fourth of the game. Sabatello rattles that one in and out. 53-51 lead for Indian Hills. Matthews right to the rim, no good. Dillon stood his ground. Dillon now breaks it out the other way for Emerson. Gives it to Ziemba in transition. Drive and dish underneath. Picarillo with the find and finish. Tie game, 53 all. 3:20 and counting left to go in the fourth quarter. Every time that Indian Hills has created a little separation, Emerson has had an answer. Ziemba is going to get called for the foul after he thought he was cleanly swiping out the ball. And that'll mean that it's now foul shots the rest of the game here for both teams. As Emerson has reached the limit, 5 fouls in this fourth quarter will send Anthony Francina to the line for 2. Francina sinks that first foul shot opportunity of the game and gets his first point in the process. Second foul shot is no good. Box out, and it goes right to Casso. Casso weaving his way on the baseline. A steal by Lockman. Tries to dive for it, and it's going to be a foul whistled against Indian Hills. It was a 50-50 fight for the loose ball, and it'll be a push foul against Indian Hills, and that is a huge foul because Connor Matthews got charged with the foul. That is his 5th personal foul, and the big man is now fouled out of this ball game with 17 points. It was a hustle play. He thought that he got possession of the ball first, but the official deemed that he slid into Lockman, who was trying to dive for the ball. So Connor Matthews fouls out with 3:01 left to go in the fourth quarter. Lockman misfires on the first foul shot attempt of the game. He's still at 16 points as the leading scorer for Emerson this afternoon. Missing on a pair of foul shots. Big misses there in this juncture of the game for Emerson. Under 3 minutes left to go in the game. Indian Hills trying to power their way home to a back-to-back win. Casso missing that time. A little too much English on the shot across the lane. Sabatello with a rebound. 1-point lead for Indian Hills. Dillon on the baseline, up top to Sabatella. Still holding on to it. And now a timeout's going to be taken by Emerson and Coach John Ziemba, freezing the clock with 2:34 left to go here in regulation. What a nail-biter coming down to the wire here as you're watching all the coverage here of the Last Chance Showcase here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. (54-53), Indian Hills on top of Emerson. Try to hold off the Cavos, who have taken the lead a couple of times in this fourth quarter. Again, if you're just joining us, Connor Matthews, one of the stars of this Indian Hills team, who has 17 points in this game, just fouled out a couple of moments ago. So the Braves are playing without one of their top players for the remaining 2:34 in this game. Neither team has any fouls to give. Foul shots the rest of the way on any subsequent foul. Neither team has been shooting the rock from deep in this game. Indian Hills has only connected on 2 threes, Emerson with only 1. A lot of the work has been done inside, and Emerson has missed a lot of layups as well. Indian Hills has missed on a couple of clutch foul shooting opportunities that could have expanded their lead here in the second half. Who's going to make the big plays when it matters late in this game? Here's Dylan. Picarillo. Just thinking about going backdoor. Ziemba, long range 3. No good. Rebounded by Casso. Michael Casso with a game-high 19 points with a big rebound here. Closing into the final 2 minutes of regulation. Casso weaving his way, handing it off to Kant. Casso and this man, Bernacki, have been the dynamic scorers in this game. With Matthews out, you have to think it's going to stay in those 2 hands. Casso hands it off to Kant. Emerson again, no fouls to give. Indian Hills with no shot clock can just run out as much time as they need. Casso goes right to the rim though, as the defense fell behind him. 21 points now for number 23. 3-point lead for Indian Hills. Lockman across the lane, misfired on the left side of the rim. 1:15 left to go in the fourth quarter. Here's the full court pressure by Emerson, leads to the turnover. Dylan gets the ball back to the Cavos. Picarillo nearly traveled, maintained his pivot foot. Here's Lockman, right to the rim. Let the defender fly by him, but again he got stuffed by the rim. Under a minute left to go, offensive rebound to Sabatella. Sabatella trying to clear things out. Gets it up top to Jeremy Lockman. Sabatella closing in on 40 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Lockman sidesteps, corner 3 ball, air ball out of the hands of Sabatella, rebounded by Bernacki. And a timeout's going to be taken with 35.5 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. 56-53 the lead for Indian Hills. Thank you again to all of our proud sponsors of this Last Chance Showcase, the Gyro Project, Prospect Capital Restaurants, Jersey Mike Subs, Anytime Fitness, Base Camp Fitness, Noble Fitness, Shoe Cosmetics, Icon Recovery Center, and of course, our proud broadcast sponsors of the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, the law office of Mark J. Sokolich, and Fort Lee SC. What an entertaining start to this one. Great even matchup between Emerson and Indian Hills. Indian Hills on top 56-53. As this has gone down to the wire. Indian Hills sitting 22nd in the North 1 Group 2 PowerPoint rankings. So they need to pile up some wins here to get closer and closer to being eligible for that field of the top 16, and each group will have the playoff spots at their disposal. Emerson comes to this one ranked 12th in North 1 Group 1. So again, if you get into the top 16 in that section in PowerPoints, then you'll qualify for the postseason. This could go a long way for Indian Hills to potentially get into that position for the postseason. Also could get them a spot in the Bergen Invitational Tournament. Worked around, now just trying to play a little keep away. Bernacki gets fouled and will head back to the foul line where he's 7 for 11 this afternoon. 24.1 left to go here in regulation. Bernacki with 15 points in this game. Short, no legs there on that foul shot. Foul shot's so important right now in this point of the game for Indian Hills. At least one make here would make this a 4-point advantage. And there it is. Bernacki goes 1 of 2 at the line. 16 points in the game. Emerson quickly got it down the floor and leads to the lay-in by John Kennedy. Quick timeout taken by Coach Ziemba. 18.1 seconds left to go in the game. 57-55 is the game right now in favor of Indian Hills. Trying to go to 6-7 on the season with a win. Emerson 4-10 overall. Emerson has had some great results out of timeouts, being able to administer the full court pressure and turning over Indian Hills. Coach Nicholas DiCarlo understanding that and trying to draw up something here to get the ball to his shooters. You want to put it in the hands of your best foul shooters at this point as well. Indian Hills has not been making this easy for themselves. 6 misses at the foul line in this fourth quarter. (57-55). It will be an inbound upcoming for Indian Hills. 18.1 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. They'll have to inbound it underneath their own basket. They get the ball inbounded. Here comes the pressure, the double team. No foul administered. Try to get it down the flow. Bernacki, smart play there. Had a wide open layup attempt. Instead, just pulled it out, wasted a couple more valuable seconds off the clock. Unselfish decision there. And now the foul is administered by Kennedy. We'll send Bernacki back to the line to shoot a pair with 8.8 seconds left to go. But again, Indian Hills doing a solid job there of not electing to go just for the layup right away, but instead the more valuable time ticking off. But the foul shot is off the mark by Bernacki. Eight of 14 at the foul line here today. This means that even with a make, it's still only a 3-point game. 8.8 seconds left to go. Bernacki missing on a pair. Offensive rebound by Indian Hills, though. A huge offensive rebound by Michael Manning. Emerson got exactly what they were hoping for. A pair of misses at the foul line, but they could not get the loose ball rebound. And now Ashton Kant will head to the line to try to finish this one off. Kant knocks down that first foul shot. That makes it a 3-point game, and this could pretty much seal things here if he knocks this one in. Kant missing. Hope is still alive here for Emerson. 2 seconds left. Picarillo, half-court heave, off the mark. And Indian Hills will survive by a final score of 58-55. Back-to-back wins on the season for the Braves now make them 6-7 overall. A hard-fought game that just came up short for Emerson. They will fall to 4-11 on the season. So missed foul shots played a huge part in that game in the fourth quarter for the Braves, but again, they survive, and hopefully they will live to play another day in the Bergen County Invitational Tournament as Indian Hills with back-to-back wins in the new year. So that'll do it for our first game. First of 5 games done here at Fort Lee High School. Stick around as we'll be bringing you all the action of our next game featuring the Paramus Spartans and the Tenafly Tigers. That's coming up in about 20 minutes' time and a separate broadcast link here on YouTube. So, for my broadcast partners, Dimitri Nanis and Renee Matisich, I'm Dan Long saying so long and thanks for tuning in to the Last Chance Showcase here on YouTube.